I mean, the dog definitely was dead. Pretty well. Brother, okay, let's move you back to the play mode. Okay, so I am going to be officially hereby asking for help in regards to the clay demon. Or with the Kappa demon, I mean. Because, quite honestly, I can't even begin to see. The dogs are a non-issue, okay. Ow. Bugger off. Run upstairs. Funnel enemies, kill dogs, okay. I didn't figure that I just started out because I went the wrong way. But oh well. Capra will fall down the stairs standing below you, jump plunge attack. Okay. 2 hits to do it. Now I just need to remember the button for the jump plunge attack. Or I'll poop over wall. Wait, you mean like before the boss fight? Or like lob it? Like, do you mean like in the boss area itself or before we start the boss fight? Don't have to enter to kill him? Oh, you've got to be joking me. Ow, ow. Then let's go and try the poop, but let's try the poop lobbing. I'm not certain how we will do that, but if you guys are into joking, then I will throw in a gift sub. Like, if that works, I will throw in a gift sub, because that is the most, like, cheesy way that I have seen in that case. Fire bombs work too. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have them at the moment. Okay, we are definitely getting some stuff here. If it turns out that you can indeed just lob it over and then he dies, that would be surprisingly hilarious. I don't know how much poop you need for that, or how long you need to wait or anything, but... Reference. Okay. I'll have a look at the reference once I get to the part. Because the dogs are first going to create a bunch of problems. 6. Ah, okay. And do we have to like wait for them to just work out and then lob the next one, or is it a matter of just lob it? Is it a matter of like just lob all 6 of them and just watch the fireworks? Because that's kind of the problem, is you are saying remastered, but take aim, throw... No fire. Because that's the problem, is this is not the remastered version. Version around 8. Well, time to go to the poop lady. And buy more poop. Yeah, I indeed never thought that I would say that. It's quite weird sometimes, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know if we even can, like, pay for 12, but if they are 6, if they are 200 to pop, then we can. Otherwise. Although, to be fair, in that case, we can just... Jesus, I hate these. I have a normal bow. That was some serious. To be fair, I'm still gonna use this area. But yeah, that is damn. But no, I have a normal bow. Okay, let's not go ahead and, you know. Let's go then. Okay. So, how are we going to lob the poop? Tonight is a night of weird sentences. How are we going to lob the poop? That is the next question. Okay, so stand under the arch in front of the mist gate. So, like this? Just tell me if I need to get closer. Further back. Oh, under the arch right here. Like this. Taking the wheel. Where thief said. Okay. I mean, German, the reason why is because it feels like the Karma Demon isn't going to be fair. Like, it's one of the few things that I do know about the game. Is that it is not the fairest. Let me see here. Oh, I distinctly remember, I kind of want to say, like, I distinctly remember seeing the thieves. I'm assuming that this is also... Okay. Black leather. Ah, okay. That's the thief mask, and now we need the black leather pants. Okay. So there we go, and now bow. Okay, bow for aiming straight up towards the gate like that. Okay. Let me first of all go ahead and get myself the bow. Oh, hang on, we actually have a light crossbow. Whoops, I doped. For rampart. For rampart. Okay, so how am I going to do this? Okay, that didn't quite work. Ah, boy. This might be an issue indeed, because I can't actually put the dung pie or the dung stuff on there. Let me go ahead and turn this into the Estus flask. And that Berg merge, okay. Unfortunately, we are in the situation where I can't... You look up and use them as an item. Oh. Okay, hang on. So dung pie like that. We look... Okay, so we are under here. We look up. Both ramparts. And then we lob them. Did that work? Need to aim with bow. Okay, that... We will deal with this in a bit. Let's try this again, and then we're going to go ahead and grab the bow from the undead bug. So who was it again? Never mind. This does feels like I'm not really angry. I'm just annoyed. Whoever decided that they needed to put this in like a small area deserves whatever punishment and hell is coming from for them. Anyway, let's go ahead and... Ow. Could you not, please? I'm starting to lose my focus here, I'm noticing. I'm starting to lose my focus. That is not good. Okay. Calm down. Relax. Use a heavier shield. Okay. Well, luckily for me, I do have that. Let's first go ahead and put you back. Yes, I know. Okay, so we have a Hollow Knight's shield. I assume that this is like heavier. Stairs, there's a ledge on the back wall you can go to on the right on. Just go over the right and shield up. Okay, I first need to get there, but that sounds doable. Like, I'm not certain what, like, heavier in this context means, but... That's a topic we will discuss once we get there once more. Some battle axe, okay, neato. We are getting a lot of stuff here. And apologies for anyone that's like, hey, you didn't say backseating, but this is a fight where I feel backseating is fair because the game doesn't feel like... Now you have a blocking shield, okay. Could you both not, please? Thank you. I was trying to say that I feel the game is not designed for combat in such a small environment. So that's why I feel it's fair to go ahead and ask for help. Okay, so there is a ledge on the right and then just start turtling is what you're basically saying. Well, let's hope that works. We said, okay, so we have a bandit's knife, so... I think someone really wanted me to get that. So I'm not certain who it was. I hate this area. I truly, utterly hate this area. I truly, utterly hate this area, to be honest. Many no-hit runs. I can see why. Everything about this area is just not fun. It feels like if you go for a build like I am, that you are being deliberately punished here. Which is okay. But it does feel annoying. Especially something like this, where it feels like you don't have the frames to kind of roll away, where you just get hit back to back to back, which I get is part of the game design, but that doesn't make it better, necessarily. You know, like, there are lots of things that are part of game design, but that don't necessarily are things you would want. Okay, there we go, we have... Okay, so just for my reference, what is the dagger useful for? Because we now have the bandit dagger. And people were very excited for that. So I assume it is good. More backstab to fire damage. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Okay, I'll do that in a bit. Goodness, I don't know, to be honest. I know nothing about this. Like, this is the version I have. So that is all I can say about it. It's like, oh no, you don't. Have to deal with too many of you. Oh, come on! How is that a backstab? Oh, brother. Okay, so let me have a look at the description of the bandit knife. So let me see here. It's favored by lowly thieves and bandits. It says it's after parrying or from behind. Okay. So the claymore is now out for a bit. So I'm going to be saying something that I am not going to say often, hopefully in this run. This feels like this fight feels like it was just unfair in general. Like, this feels like a fight that was just not tested enough. To be perfectly honest. Like, I'm not certain if I should be saying that about a game like Dark Souls, but that's just how this fight feels. This does not feel like... I mean, troll fights are fun when there is, like, some form of knowing what the hell's happening. And that is just not happening here. Could have learned in the bug. I mean, if it's a final exam, then it is worse than my thesis. Because I do get it, you know, like, you're trying to fight something in a small space, but I think the addition of the dogs is what makes this fight unfair. Because, like, that is... I don't have a problem with the Carpa Demon itself. It is a big... You know, we fought big things in small spaces before. It is the addition of the dogs that really irk me. That is where the fight moves from difficult but fair to just annoying. That is kind of where like my current stance is on. Like, the fight itself is not necessarily unfair if you take away the dogs. It is the addition of the dogs that, for me, kind of... Yeah, I can see why so many people choose him. Small bases, towers, demon, dealing with multiple enemies, everything. Yeah, the problem for me, though, is that... It's the multiple enemies part. Like, something like this feels more fair. Because all of the enemies, to some extent, are... Like, I'm not certain how I can, like, explain it well, to be perfectly honest. But, like... I'm not certain how I can, like, explain this well. But there is just something about, especially, like, the smallness of the space combined with the environment. Like, I guess the big problem here as well is the fog window, because you can't do anything while you're going through the fog. Like, the carpet demon can already attack you, but you can't defend yourself. You can't do anything. You have to go through the fog. You have to wait for the animation to end, and only then, like, if you're lucky, you can still hit it. That's kind of where my problems begin to comply. Like, with all the other fights, it has been fair. Even with something like the troll, where at first you are kind of like, what's happening here about it? It still gives you time to acknowledge the situation that's happening. Like, every other fight so far, like, every single other fight has given you, at the very least, the ability to look at the enemy first before you can react. Like, it is never the case, even in situations where the enemy is hidden, that it just pops out of nowhere. Like, that's just like, hello. And that's kind of what's missing here, I feel, is... Kappa can't reach it. Well, that's good to know. Just sucks that it, like, happened right there. If we manage to beat Kappa tonight, then I will throw out the gift shop, because... Boy howdy. I do not care to who it goes, to be honest. Like... This is... I can... Yeah, I can see why people might just quit completely at this fight. At least the hit intention works as intended. Oh god. 1 second, there we go. This is... Okay, there we go. That's the Hollow Thieves' boots. Get you once per frame. That is just bad design, to be honest. Like, there's a difference between punishing and just bad. And some games, and a game like this is like always walking a very fine line between the two. And I definitely feel like it is moving too far into one direction here. Oh, calm the fuck on! Okay, yeah, now annoyances are starting to set in on my end. Oh, I don't care anymore at this point. Okay, there we go. So this is still doing its thing. Okay, let's go down. If the and remember, like, this is the introductionary boss to this entire area. Like, I am a bit of the feeling is like, I honest to God, knowing me, the feeling is going to be one of just sheer annoyance. Like, it isn't going to be an exhilarating while I beat him, it's going to be this, wow, I finally managed to beat him. You know what I mean? It's like, the feeling isn't going to be a triumph, it's just going to be glad to be done with it. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is, at this moment, the Carpa Demon is my bachelor thesis, and I'm just trying to get it done. Oh, good. Now I've aggroed him as well. Fun. Okay, there we go. That's that done. Like, that's basically what it is that at this point the Carpa Demon is... I've been annoyed enough by him and, like, the entire track towards him, that to me he's basically my bachelor thesis at this point. So when I'm going to finally beat him, it's not going to be a pleasure of like, oh, I finally beat him. It's like, okay, I'm finally done. And there's, like, no emotion whatsoever, knowing me. Which sucks as well, because for you guys it's going to be amazing, and it will be like, wow, we finally did it, and then for me it's like, yeah, but I don't feel anything. Well, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of systems that I think are great in Dark Souls so far from what I've seen. You know, the fact that even something as simple as, like, the starting screen has, like, tension with it, that is cool. You know, like, the fact that something as simple as, like, knowing when to press the pause button, that has risk with it, that is really cool. But, you know. Well, let's just keep bashing our head against the wall. Which I apologize for, you know, not being fun at the moment. It's just... Like, the problem is also there's, like, no emotion with me running through it. I know that he probably does, Mesa, and it is definitely, like, a bit of... It does help, but that doesn't change the fight itself. Like, I'll be honest. Okay, hang on. So, I'll be honest here. I'm at a point where after I'm done with this fight, I might just stream me to Endsinger Extreme, because that is easier and more productive, I feel. That's kind of the problem for me with this fight. Is I might as well, you know... And it obviously also doesn't help that I also need to be entertaining. Okay, so... Okay, so... the way that I look at it is... obviously, I'm going to be finishing this. And I still have fun with the game. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't enjoy the mechanics. It's this one single boss that is so utterly broken in every sense of the word that it moves the mechanics. Like, Dark Souls works on a very fine line between being difficult and being unfair. And normally, like, all of Undead Bug is like a very great example of that very fine line being done really well. Like, take a look at this fight, for example. We've done this fight like 40 times at this point. And each time that I make a mistake, it's because I was an idiot. Each time I get hit, it's because I'm an idiot. I make dumb mistakes. You know, like, I kind of talked about this on my private Twitter. It's the question of what exactly constitutes difficulty. And for me, difficulty, at least in something like Dark Souls, is equal to margin of error. Like, I think it's unfair to say that Dark Souls is a difficult game so much as that with Dark Souls, your margin of error is very low. Like, it's not necessarily difficult in the sense of like a moral dilemma or hard to execute mechanics. Like, the game itself is surprisingly simple. You know, you have like 2 types of attacks and you have... The thing with Dark Souls, and that's what makes it fun for me, is that your window, you know, like your window of opportunity is small. You know, like you don't have a whole lot of ways to defend yourself. So it is, so you are not allowed to make, or rather you're not allowed to make a lot of mistakes. So as a result, that is what makes it, you know, quote unquote difficult. Is your margin of error is like really, really low. But that is what makes it fun. It is, you know, the fact that you are kind of asked to deal with this problem. That is what makes this fun. Is you have a low margin of error, and I'm really liking the fact that you have a low margin of error, because it means that there's a lot of high risk, high reward gameplay involved. You know, like, swords deal a lot of damage, but you also take a lot of damage, so there's a lot of high risk, high reward gameplay getting involved. The problem with a system like that, and like I said, like, I really like the core systems of Dark Souls. So it's not like after the combat evening I'll be going like, oh no, I will not be playing this game anymore. No, obviously I will play it more. But it's... how do I best explain it? Okay, so for those of you who play Final Fantasy XIV or who have seen me stream it, it's a bit like if you are doing a bunch of extreme trials, and all of a sudden, you are forced into an ultimate fight out of nowhere. Like, does that stop your overall enjoyment? No, because you like the extreme trials. It's just that the fact that there's all of a sudden an ultimate being thrown in there where you can't prepare for it, where you have no way to in any way avoid it, that is what makes it unfun. The core systems of Dark Souls are absolutely a lot of fun. It is just that there is one boss that feels like it just was not tested. And you can tell me that it's like a final exam of some kind, and I'm going to call bullshit on that. Because this is not a final exam. Because the things that are taught you in Undead Bug, in my view at least, and I might be horrendously wrong in that, do not come back in this fight. Like the gargoyles, I feel, are a better way of testing your knowledge of Undead Bug, because they are fights on a high rooftop where there's a lot of fall damage, which is what we've seen so far in Undead Bug, with multiple enemies that are one of which is suddenly coming out of nowhere, but with enough room that every playstyle is allowed to have some margin of error. And that is where I feel the combat even goes wrong, is there's no margin of error. The fact that people have to cheese this proves to me that it's not a final exam. Because final exams are not cheesed. And that's kind of where the point that I want to go with is, if this is a final exam, I would give this exam itself a 0 out of 10. Simply because the exam is so horrendous that people are deliberately cheesing it. And that's the point where I basically go like, okay, then your fight is just not good. Like, I know that there's like something like developer intent, but this ain't it, Chief. Like, in the same way that I'm not going to be saying that the rabbits in Endwalker are good, I'm also, you know, despite really liking the game, I'm also not going to be saying that this is good. Like, it isn't. Just at all. And I don't mind the fact that it punishes mistakes, but I do mind the fact that this is just unfair. Like, that's the only word that I can come up with. Like, a good example is actually this area right here is, you know, like, you can... Yeah, if you run past them, it's going to be really unfair, but that's only if you decide to be an idiot. Like, I feel that this entire section tests your knowledge of Undeadburg far more than the Carpa Demon fight. Because this is a small section with lots of ambushes. And so I feel this is an actually good example. Like, this entire section towards the Carpa Demon is a good example. It absolutely is. But the demon itself isn't. And I'm actually noticing that I'm annoyed enough that even like getting to the Carpa Demon is starting to get hard, so... Like, I'm starting to make some very fundamental mistakes here that I wasn't making an hour ago. So while I'm doing this, I'm in the meantime kind of thinking on how to proceed from here. Oh, nice! That was actually like both of us getting it. I think... what am I going to be doing here? Because it's not going to be fun to watch me die a whole lot more. I'm just thinking here for a second, so apologies. Also, apologies for the rant just now. Like I said, I know that it's not fun, but like... I honestly do not know how else to say it. I think what I might do is I might actually do what I just said that I would do, which is... You know what? As far as damage goes, that's fair. That was very fair in that regard. Oh no! That is some very strong wood right there. Okay, so I've kind of done my say, but that doesn't change my conundrum here. So I'm going to give pairing you not do. No. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what we're going to be doing here, because I can sit here for another 4 hours and just not beat him, is... 1 second. Needing to deal with the dog. That's not it. Okay, so here is what we are going to be doing. I'm going to try the Carpa Demon fight one more time to see if it's me. If it's not, if we don't beat him again, or at the very least if the tactic itself is not working, I'm going to be switching over to Final Fantasy XIV. I'm going to be doing Endsinger stream for a few minutes because, Christ, do I need something that's easy. And then we're going to be streaming more Dark Souls tomorrow, and I'm going to be spending some of the tonight just kind of looking at how to deal with the Carpa Demon. Like, this has moved from difficult to unfair, in my eyes. The other reason that I'm doing this is because I'm noticing that I'm making basic mistakes. So what I'm noticing here is I'm starting to make